Good morning, John. It's Friday, May 11th. For our birthdays, Mom and Dad got us new bikes. It's Catherine's birthday next week, so she got one too. And now we have two really nice bikes, so we can ride around town all the time. We can ride our bikes to the garden, and we won't have to use any fossil fuels or create any carbon. They're really nice too. Thanks, Mom and Dad. And happy Mother's Day, Mom. Do you know what I love? My mom. But also, I love questions about superheroes. Who would win in a fight between Batman and Superman? That one's not very interesting. But there are lots of superhero questions that I like to answer. I especially like to think about what kind of superpowers I would like to have if I could have superpowers. I mean, you can't really beat Superman for having superpowers, unless you could travel in time. Though that could definitely get very confusing very quickly. I think that would be probably the hardest superpower to have. As you get more power, dealing with that power becomes more difficult. All superheroes deal with that. I think a time-stopping man would have even more problems. Where do you draw the line? I mean, you could save everybody. As long as you didn't age while you were saving people, you could save everybody in the world. Pretty much. And if you did age, then you'd have to use your time very wisely. You'd have to save the maximum. Yeah. That would be a hard power to have, but it would be the most power, I think, of any superhero. Unless you were Superman and you could travel in time. That would be more power. And you'd also have to make sure that you didn't accidentally negate your own existence while you were in the past. I would probably not mess with the past if I was a time-traveling superhero. You go back and you try and stop the Holocaust and suddenly you've disappeared. Put a needle in Hitler's eye when he's a baby. Would it be okay to kill baby Hitler? I mean, he's just a baby. This is why it would be so hard to be a time-traveling superhero. I don't know. I'm interested in people's opinions on whether it would be okay to kill baby Hitler. Now the reason I'm talking about this, John, is because one of the commenters asked me what I would do if I woke up in the morning and had Spider-Man's powers. I mean, I gotta be honest, I would definitely start out the way that Peter Parker did in Spider-Man 1 by taking off my shirt and flexing in the mirror. And then I would probably get Catherine and flex at her. And then I might go downtown and flex at random people. I've never really had flexible, flexing, the capability of flexing, really. And I think that I would enjoy that. Beyond that, I would probably move away from Missoula, because Spider-Man's powers in Missoula, Montana would be fairly useless. Swing from the 7-story building to the 6-story building, and then I could swing back! Over and over again. I think Spider-Man in Missoula would be very bored. I think he would go hiking a lot. I think actually that the awesomeness of a superhero is dependent on the size of his city. Because if there's not a lot of people to save, what do you need a superhero for? A superhero in Missoula would be very part-time. Like, you work at the taco shop, and then be like, guys, I gotta go. I just been listening in on the police scanner, and there's been an accident on Highway 22, and I have to travel back in time and use my Superman powers to stop it. So yeah. If I was Spider-Man, I would either keep it a secret and just flex a lot, or I would move to a big city and actually get something accomplished. Wow, I sure did spend that entire video talking about superheroes. Ha! Nerd fighters! See you on Monday.